Hello, hello. Sorry about that. I guess I was only like 20 seconds late, but still. I misjudged how fast I would be at getting water and a drink. I guess water is also a drink and a protein shake. There we go. Okay, so we made a lot of progress. I got to the point where I started getting a rough estimate of how long I think outposting will take based on how many outposts I have. If we can get up to 25 outposts, which is unrealistic, but we could finish the run in 3 hours. That's not starting time. 4 hours. Um, I doubt we can get that many, so it's probably going to be more like 5 hours and about 20 outposts or so. If our base is way more performance bottlenecking than I thought, then we can maybe only get like 13 and it would take about 5.5 hours, 6 hours or so. One of those. But yeah, if we only get like 13 versus 18, that's not actually a huge difference in the amount of time it takes to complete the run. It's like a half-hour difference. Um, but if we can get to like 20 something, then it starts to kind of drop a little bit faster. But then you also have the start time of 45 minutes, which is why it still only is like 4 hours. But the outposting phase is going to take a while, which I expected. It's just, gosh, it is a little bit longer than I thought. I was thinking about 5 hours with I guess I was thinking about 5 hours with 18 outposts. So my estimate was pretty close. I'm just hoping I can actually get 18 outposts. If I can't reach 18 outposts, then we're a little bit doomed. I did come up with this design, which I say this, but I don't actually have it copied to my blueprint, my clipboard like I thought I did. Let's see, copy, import. So this is another outpost design we could use. The advantage of it is that it is significantly shorter. Let's mess with it over in this corner. So the start delay for this should be a lot, a lot lower. So if we go to final, yeah, okay. So this is a similar outpost. It uses more power. It is worse for performance, so that is something I have to consider. So it's not necessarily the best option. And then I feel like I can shift this over at least over here. And that would give me a rough estimate of the width. Because I feel like we can definitely put them this close to each other. Okay. So this is this is the size compared. Oh wait, sorry, this is only half the outpost. I was like, that seems a little bit too small. There we go. Okay. So it is wider, which is a little bit problematic, but it's also a lot less short. And most of the coal waste, I think, comes from the height rather than the width. Because horizontally, right? Horizontally, there's only one belt of fuel backing up, whereas vertically, there's like 24, 32, something like that. I think it depends how I tessellate it, but we can say vertically it's about 22 at least. Are we producing any coal right now? Or solid fuel? Because I kind of wanted to test start times. But yeah, since most of the fuel is used vertically, I imagine this probably. Wait, it uses more belt. Well, I guess I haven't done entity savings on it yet. Wait, it should be saving inserters. Never mind, it doesn't save inserters. That's silly. That wouldn't make any sense. It literally uses extra inserters. So yeah, entity cost should be lower whenever I do entity savings by a little bit, but I don't know how much lower. And then I could probably double up on some of these belts and get more, even more savings. But yeah, I was just curious what it would look like if I were to use yellow assemblers. The power draw is also like 20, it's 100% more almost, which is why these need efficiency modules. That brings the power draw to about 20% more, which is still a lot, but it isn't, we need more power a lot. It's not like we need to expand our power plant a lot more. I don't, I feel like that is not a sentence where that kind of idiom works. Anyway, yeah, these are the two designs. This one is a lot wider than I thought, but it is neat. I'll give it that. The splitter count wasn't this high, but I did make the splitter count higher to try to, I don't know, belt stubbing. I don't really know what belt stubbing does, but I thought it was worth a shot. But yeah, I think if we copy these designs real quick over to a new world, we can maybe get like a start time estimate. Because that could be useful. So new game, free play, all we really need to do is turn off the things that are kind of going to be in the way, and we should be good. We just can't speed that world up enough. It has too many layers. So testing start time on that world legitimately takes like well, maybe not half an hour, but it would take like 10 minutes if it takes 30 minutes to start up. Oh, did the game crash? Interesting. Interesting. What did we do? How did we crash Factorio? By starting a new map. Huh. Interesting. I don't think I've ever really done that before. It could be because of my blueprint library. I might have just, it could have been like a don't click anything scenario. Because it is trying to load 3 separate, you know what, that actually might be it. We have 3 separate 100% base books in our blueprints folder right now. I don't think that's great. Like, one of them alone takes a while to load. Like, this is like a 12 million character file or something, right? It's pretty large. Maybe not 12 million. I think it might be. Yeah, no, it's a 12 million character file, and I have 2 of them. That probably isn't great. Yeah, hello, Tice. I wanted to. I'm testing right now what the start delay of the new outpost would be, as in like the one that I shared that performs worse. Because if the start delay is a lot smaller, it could have merit. It is a little bit wider though. That is the link to the website. I always copy the wrong thing. There you go. Okay, so theoretically, the start delay should be pretty... We don't need to care that much about the fuel inputs, I don't think. Then we can shift this over. It's definitely a somewhat lazy approach, but it will give us... should give us a close enough estimate. But yeah, I don't really care about actually getting copper, because the start delay is almost always going to be fuel. You're cooking, so you have to leave... Oh, like actually cooking. I saw that and was like, I thought you meant you were cooking when it came to like your ideas and how to fix the outpost. And I was like, okay, that's exciting, but that's also fair. Actual cooking is also nice. Okay, I think this is not enough, right? Yeah. Okay, so this is an equivalent sized outpost. So start time, we're at 30 seconds now. Let's see, start test. Potatoes, not pasta? Ooh, that sounds good though. I do like potatoes. But yeah, no spaghetti IRL. Got it. It's a shame. You should always have spaghetti. Actually, I don't know. I'm actually, despite making strongest spaghetti ever in Factorio. I'm not a huge spaghetti guy or pasta guy in general. I like noodle soups though. Noodle soups are delicious. But pasta, I can't really eat pastas. Well, more so I can't eat the sauces for pastas, so that kind of makes it that limits your options a lot for which pastas are good. Okay, so start time for this is 15 minutes just to fuel the lane. And then we can say it consumed or no, produced. Oh wait, the infinity chests don't count as produced, do they? Well, that's unfortunate. But anyway, it was about 15 minutes. Potatoes is the carbohydrate of choice in Denmark. That's a good one. I figured it would be like bread, like rye bread, mostly because you've mentioned rye multiple times. Maybe no, yes. I feel it, but it might be because I talk about. It's probably because I talk about bread a lot. it's it's definitely me who starts these bread conversations, so that probably gives me a an accurate estimate. Rye bread is for lunch. Okay, that's fair. Oh my gosh, I forgot to have bread today. I made a really nice loaf of sourdough the other day. It was like the first loaf I made that actually got like the little ear. It was just like plain white bread, sourdough, not rye, but it does make good lunches, so I get that. Just like a slice of bread with some butter and salt, or just cheese. It's a very great like second lunch or first lunch. I guess the order doesn't matter that much. But I tend to eat like two small lunches. But either way, it's delicious. And it got the little ear, which my mom called a dinosaur spine, and I think that is a much better name, and I'm sad that's not the official name. Everyone just refers to it as the ear, and I feel like I need to change that. My sister called it a shark fin, which was also good. Much better than ear. But either way, it turned out good. I actually just I ended up restarting my starter because the first one worked okay, but it wasn't great. So this is the first batch with my new starter and like an actually usable state. So yeah, super exciting. Okay, yeah, this is. Oh wait, we are at 1721. Okay. Yeah, unless the difference is like 15 minutes, this isn't. The other outpost isn't worth it. I can't imagine it's going to be that high. But I am really curious. And again, this is only really measuring the start time of the assembling machines. Oh wait, oh my gosh, yeah. It's ignoring the drills. Currently, we're at about 15 minutes, 16 minutes. And they look like they're all started. Okay, so yeah, the difference is not that significant, if at all. Yeah. Okay, so the other design, despite being really cool, offers no benefits other than if we made the outpost larger, it would be worth it, right? Like if we could double the height of our outpost, we could justify it. But or if we had to double the height of our outpost, obviously a more dense design is good. But in this case, I don't think doubling our outpost is that viable. And I don't think 10% performance loss for the same startup time is worth it. Now you just need to learn to make s'more bread. I don't think I said that right, because when I think s'mores, I think chocolate and chocolate and marshmallows and graham crackers. S'more bread. Okay. What makes it different than just putting butter on bread? So it's not just the bread. It's like a full open faced sandwich thing. Let's see. Slice of rye topped with mayo, sliced cold potatoes, and dill. Okay, it's a very hard carb heavy dish, but I can't judge. I used to I love carbs. I make stuffing sandwiches for Thanksgiving. But that does sound really good. Like potato salad almost on top of bread. I should definitely make that. I need to work on making rye bread actually. I've only tried it like once, and it was before I really knew to ignore all recipe times, especially when it comes to bread. When they say like mix for like 5 minutes, they're assuming you're really good at mixing, not slow. So it turned out really sad because it didn't work. Not like rye is particularly high in gluten, but it shouldn't have been as flat as it was. Search Google for s'more bread if you're ever hungry. Yeah, the pictures of it do seem. It does look very, very yummy. I see a lot of pictures with it where it also has like some kind of meat on it. Oh, there we go. That one's just the basic. Ooh, that one has pear. Interesting flavors. Yeah, that's definitely more complex than the bread I normally eat, which is sourdough with a slice of, with a dab of butter and salt. Is usually how much I branch out on an average day. But yeah, let's we need to we need to test our base to see how much we're producing of everything to make sure we are in fact producing enough. Um, so I think we're gonna make. I think we need to make some changes to our base that are temporary, as in permanent, just to make it that everything runs, and see what our actual like steady state production is for various things. Because that will tell us if we can increase our outpost size or increase our outpost goal. Like if we can do an outpost in 8 minutes, that is a huge reduction in time. That's like saves like a full hour almost off of a run if we can, do 25% more outposts in the same amount of time. Same with if we can make our outpost 25% larger, which we could do a larger iron patch. We're not actually utilizing the iron patch that well. But first we need to figure out how the heck we actually prime our base, because we got rid of all of the infinity chests, and that's kind of annoying. What are our options? There's not really great options, huh? Okay, I have an idea. And we are going to save this as test. There we go. This file is getting pretty large. Definitely getting a little bit larger than I would like, but that's fine. It's just I only have like 10 copies of it. That's the worst that could happen. Okay, so this one should be iron. Yeah, this is definitely iron. Okay, so that would be this. We can just paste this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the thing we're testing right now will not tell us if we're producing enough fuel. But what it will tell us is if we're producing enough iron or whatever we're producing. Enough of everything. Pretty much it does everything except for fuel. Okay, that looks good. I believe this next one is copper, though. This one should be copper. Oh gosh, I can't actually tell. It feels like copper, because three iron lanes in a row would be pretty wild. I don't think that is what happened. Which I feel like I should have more confidence than that, but it is what it is. Okay, so this one would be iron, this one would be copper, right? Yeah, because the first one we do is copper, I believe. Let's see, this goes here. Yeah, because the first thing we do is green chips. Or, sorry, blue chips. Okay, so this should be copper. Oh, I didn't copy the copper. Copy the copper. Huh. Will that cause issues? No, no, that won't break anything. Okay, so we don't need to worry about fixing it. We have one inserter that's going to take from a chest and put it onto the belt, but it's not going to cause any problems, I don't think. Okay, and then one more. We're good. Well, technically all of the inserters are going to output randomly onto the belt. Can you just say it seems like a wild month in American politics? Yeah, yeah. A lot of it, anytime I hear updates on it, I'm not convinced it's real. Because everything just seems meme worthy. Which I don't think is great. I don't think that's how I should. That's ideally not how I want to be describing election season, but that's the vibes I'm getting every time. So it sure is something. Okay, so that's actually connected. Okay, so that's one way I could have done it, and then we have this other way. Okay, I really hope these aren't permanent changes. I think I set this up in a way that doesn't it permanently brick it. Oh yeah, no, this was smart. That means I could have saved it. Oh, whatever. It's fine. Government to meme to is probably not healthy. Yeah, that was the vibe I was getting to. It's not ideal. But it is what it is, I guess. I don't know. Oh, we also hold up, I forgot power. I like how I said I forgot power, like I've ever even considered putting power in my base at all. Okay, so this is the first time we've actually like tried to activate our base. So let's see if it actually runs. I mean, I hope it does. I sure hope I sure hope it does. Okay, we probably missed some assembling machines here. This should be good. But yeah, we've ran the base in like small sections. We've never ran the whole base in like one step. So I'm just kind of hoping it works. Okay. But yeah, that's also not something you want to hear. I hope the thing that I've spent like 6 months on works. There we go. Love the confidence. Okay. We need to disable all entities on each stage to make it a little bit easier. And then what we're trying to get right now is our max production for various things. There we go. Don't know why those started disabled, but only like partly worked. That was weird. Yeah, we got all the confidence. Wow, we're already at 180 FPS. I know this isn't like a realistic estimate of how our base will run. So like anytime I do a test and my main base is already using up half my computer, it makes me feel, it feels rough. But the staged mod like halves your FPS. So it's not as bad as it feels, but it doesn't feel great. Like even when you disable the stages, it's not perfect. But it definitely helps. But yeah, we always have to have strong faith because that's the only thing you really have when it comes to burner inserters. Just desperate hope that it does in fact work. Okay, so none of these are working yet. I think that's just because we have to produce a lot of gears before everything starts, right? Yeah, we haven't even gone steel all the way over here yet. Oh, there's a ghost there. Okay, oh, that's weird. Okay, so yeah, the start time I imagine for our whole base is going to be really high. But this isn't realistically how you would actually build something, so it's okay. I don't think these... Where did these get the undergrounds? Where do these get the undergrounds? Oh, I send half of them back through the loop. Okay, I guess that's fine. It's a little bit weird, but it does make sense. Okay, so if I go around my base, I should be able to see that I am in fact producing stuff here as well. Yes, although I need those values. So up here I can do a voiding filter, I think would be good. Okay, and then remove unfiltered items. So these are all the stuff that we need at the outpost that we just shipped through the base. And then we have, well, this isn't all of it. We have so many more. We should have so many more. Oh, I stopped most of them earlier. Okay. And then we should be sending red underground belts somewhere, right? Surely I didn't just tell myself I have enough red undergrounds. That would be wild. But I don't see them anywhere. Did we not finish red undergrounds? I don't see a world where I didn't send them up. But maybe there is one? Let's see. Maybe I assumed red undergrounds were... Oh, there they are. There we are. I was like, this doesn't make sense. Red undergrounds are such an important part of our base. Okay, so this is the number that we'll be concerned with once things reach steady state. We need to produce this much stuff every 10 minutes, roughly. Actually, wait, let's pull it up. This stuff every 10 minutes. Gotta go. All right, enjoy your dinner. Or enjoy your potatoes. I shall be here looking at numbers go up, as always. There we go. Okay. So that's what we need to produce every 10 minutes. Or we're doomed. Okay, so let's see. Has it leveled out yet? It hasn't quite leveled out yet. Because this is the 10-minute range. We need to keep it going for a little bit longer. We could also do 1 minute and divide. That also works. So let's see. We produce 1,000 of these per minute. We do 600 of these per minute. That's good. 500 splitters per minute. That's fine. 400 pipes to ground. That's fine. 10,000 pipes. Yeah, that's more than enough. So those aren't a problem. Although I don't know how many of those go into a chest, but I think we can assume that not many things get converted into the higher tiers. Like obviously some of these get converted, but it's not a huge deal. Oh, and we can also compare to the other side. So we're actually producing 400 surplus pipes per 1 minute. So we actually produce enough pipes in 1 minute for the whole 10 minutes. So we have plenty to connect oil. This is concerning. However, I think that's because we're overproducing these. Yeah, it's because we're producing... So we're producing 22. So 220 of these every 10 minutes. It still hasn't leveled out, so we still have to do that. So we're producing 100 of these every 10 minutes. So 30 of these are overproduced. It looks like we're actually a little bit low on assembling machines. So we do need to improve that. Because that is like bare minimum what we need for the outpost. That is pushing it way too much. So we have a couple options there. We could theoretically take from the mall. It's a little bit far away. But we can output from this chest. I want to say no problem, but it would be a little bit of a problem. So let's make this an infinity chest and test it more. See if this gives us what we need. And then we should have another assembler too. Somewhere down here. Yeah. Oh, this doesn't run at all. Oh, that doesn't get fuel. Wait, what? We missed fuel in the middle lane. Okay. Let's keep note of that. Fuel missing. Middle assembler 2. Because we have to go back and save these in a different file. Okay, halfway through red belt. Okay. I think that was the only thing that we were missing there, though. So let's just give it nuclear fuel so that way it starts. And we should be okay. I guess for now I could just connect it, huh? That would make more sense. Even if we can't save it, we should still connect it. Okay, back to producing these. Okay, so that actually should help. So it looks like we just have to get another assembly machine through our base, which is totally fine. But that should bump up the number pretty significantly. Because we were barely holding on, and now we're producing 50. Yeah, that's way more. So this is producing more than enough, barely enough. But now we can afford to produce more of these. So I think it works out. Although they seem to have slowed down for some reason. Okay, but if we just cut this and all of these get converted immediately to these, we should be good. Or we do like a prio. So between that and our original assembly machines, I think we're okay in that department. Okay, so that's producing enough. Is there any way to just pause it? Oh, I guess I can just have it produce for a minute and then pause so it doesn't keep shifting. Okay, so those are good. Inserters. Inserters are not actually good. We need more inserters. More inserters, which makes sense. We're short about 20%. Fortunately, inserters are like the cheapest thing we can possibly improve the production of, so it's not a big deal at all. We can improve them up here very easily, and it won't decrease the production of the other things by that much because it looks like we have a slight surplus in gears. So yeah, we have plenty of room up here to add like 2 more assemblers. 2 more assemblers. Okay. So that should be good. Everything else... That's yellow assemblers. Barely cutting it. Do prio, and we should be good. We might need more speeds sent over to yellow assemblers, but that's easy enough to do. Right now we're just spawning them, but I know we have the production. They don't use a ton. 278 per 10 minutes. We produce 400, so yeah, we're good. We're good in that department. So we need more yellow assemblers. Blue ASM from OG Mall. Very important. Okay. What else? Belts. Wait, what? Oh, I'm looking at 5 seconds. I was like, how are we producing 200 belt per second per minute? That's insane. This makes way more sense. Okay, so we have 20,000 belts being produced. 18,000 of that's being consumed, so we have 3,000 spare belts. We're good in that department. Awesome. Don't have to worry about that. Let's see. Red belts. 200 is being produced per minute. Okay, we are definitely good in red belts. Wow, that's a lot of red belt, actually. I don't know if we're producing enough up here, strictly speaking. We might have to... We do belted, though. Huh, that nothing's coming through here. Did I mess that up? Did I actually break them all? I'm not sure what's going on there. Because there should be plenty of belt. Oh, okay. We broke. Put red, green on wrong side. Very easy fix. And the reason I have to keep the notes because we're not saving this one, so I can't make the changes now. Which is why we just have a running list. Okay, so red belt is not making it up. But it is here. So I think we accidentally just broke one of the undergrounds. What mod is the components? Oh, that's a screenshot. That is just a screenshot of my blueprint, so that way I know how much I need to produce every 10 minutes. There probably is a mod that does it, but I mean, I guess alternatively that's just a blueprint. So never mind. I guess it wouldn't really need a mod for that, huh? Oh, bye-bye. Welcome, welcome. Okay, so it looks like at some point I actually mixed up the steel and the copper belt. So we're going to be lazy. And we're going to do this. Okay. There we go. Now, like I said, red belt. I don't know if we're shipping red belt through our base. I want to say we are. Yeah, okay. So we have red belt being shipped through this base. That means it's on our original lane. I don't know if we're actually getting all the red belt we're producing though. So we produced 2,000 per hour. We need, or sorry, 2,000 over 10 minutes, but we don't send all of that to our outpost. So I think it gets a little bit messy if we try to get this out of here, right? Oh no, actually I think we're okay. I think all of these do make it to our outpost. Yeah, because these have a buffer chest in the middle. Okay, never mind. We're good. We're good. All red belt production does in fact make it to our base. We produce more than enough. Okay, cool. Cool. What else? What else am I missing? Modules. Okay, so modules are tricky. Because I don't know if those are actually hooked up. They are not, in fact, hooked up for some reason. So this lane is not hooked up to plastic for some reason. Because it's not hooked up to coal. Oh, wait, no, never mind, that makes a whole lot of sense. Okay, and then there's a mixed... Actually, this might be mixed because because I had to manually convert the chests. Yeah, okay, so there's not a mixed copper. I don't think that's really broken anything, so I think we're good, but we can do this just in case. Anyway, plastic. So plastic isn't working because we never actually hooked up our coal belt. No, wait, we did. Okay, never mind. Nope, never mind. We didn't hook it up. Okay, there we go. That should give us module estimates as well now. Because those are important. I don't know where these output. Oh, they output into the middle. Oh, gosh. That's going to be awful to get out of there. I mean, it's too late now to fix it, but that's going to be unpleasant to say the least. Okay, speed mods, let's just void them here. And then prod mods, let's also just void them. Yeah, this is us testing if our base is actually, in fact, working to some degree. And then these don't have green chip inputs, which is weird. I think it might just be as simple as we changed this design, but didn't really change the design. Let's see, what's going on? If I follow this, none of these are running because they don't have fuel. Okay. I think I see the problem. Yeah, I see the problem. Okay. Copper lane input is messed up. That needs to go on the list. Copper input left. And the reason we can't, yeah, we still can't fix them now. Like, I'm not just being lazy right now. This is a save that won't be kept. Okay, yeah, and those browned out because of that. Yeah, this is a save that won't be kept because this is a test file where we're doing some permanent damage to things to test the inputs. So we just have to keep a note of the changes we make instead. Okay. I think we somehow don't have power in the entire middle of our base, which is really weird, considering we just flew over with the ultra mega poles. Don't know how that happened. Not a huge deal, but it is a little bit weird. Okay. Back to looking at this. Okay, so we need about 400 fast underground per minute. We're producing 8, or sorry, not per minute. We need 80 per minute. Okay, we're good on that. Splitters we've already established are good. Assembly machines, more than enough. Red belt, more than enough. Speed modules, we have to wait for those to start. Roboports, we're producing 50 a minute. We use about We produce 5 a minute. We actually do need slightly more roboports. That is pushing it. This is like the bare minimum we need. Each outpost takes like 25, but that doesn't account for. Actually, you know what? This is I say bare minimum, but it does have a surplus of like 15, so it's not awful. 15 doesn't sound like a ton of surplus, but I mean, I guess technically it is like 40% more. It's just when the number is 25, 15 less feels like a ton. Okay, refineries are not running well, actually. We do not have nearly enough refineries. Refineries ain't work. Oh, wait, that makes me wonder, are we producing any chem plants? Did we break this entire segment? No fuel gets to this. No fuel at right steel. Actually, I think for this, I'll probably take a splitter there. How did these brown out? Okay, so there are some issues with the burner with the staged mod and inserters browning out. Like a lot of these inserters should be literally impossible for them to brown out. Like the way I have it designed, they can't break. It just doesn't work that way with internal buffers unless they just run out of fuel for like multiple minutes. So I think sometimes when you switch stages, inserters don't like that. It's something I've just kind of accepted. Okay, so does this not get enough coal? Or is it flipped halfway down the line? Okay, it's just still starting. Okay. We can live with that then. I wish we could speed it up more, but that's another downside of the stage blueprint planning. It is very, very intense on the processor. Okay. Anyway, let's go back to other things. We never did steel chests, did we? No, we never did steel chests. Okay, so we might not have enough steel for producing everything we need. Well, this probably is why. Yeah, see, like these, it shouldn't be possible for these to brown out. It doesn't make sense because these can't fill up. So we definitely did something that broke it with the mod. Okay, so that explains why refineries have been garbage. Now this one could be legitimate. This can technically happen. This is flipped. One of gear lane is unsafe. So this is supposed to go the other way. This one though, this one I don't get. This one might have been because of the mod. This one is unsafe though. This one's on me. This one, there shouldn't be any situation where this can break, so that's weird. That's really bizarre. I think I could limit the stack size of these two. That might help, but again, that one shouldn't be a problem. Okay. So back to the production. Okay, refiners are good now. We need about 100 every 10 minutes. Awesome. Chem plants are barely holding out. I'm hoping that's just because of steel delay. We'll check back there soon, but we might need more chem plants because that's really low. That's real low. Radar is more than enough. These are going to idle, so that will give me a lot of gears to other things. What am I missing? Oh, substations and power poles. Okay. I feel like that production's going to be pretty bad. Substation power. I wonder if those aren't going into infinity chests. Yeah, okay, so these just aren't being voided. Yeah, sometimes it's hard to tell if I just am not voiding it or if I'm in fact not producing them. Okay, so chem plants I said were super low. They're low on steel. Ah, so not only was steel broken, it just wasn't connected. So yeah, I think having half the steel that you need is probably bad, right? I think we can all agree that that's not great for production. Yeah, I think so. I think that's something we can all agree on. That seems like a pretty non-controversial take. Okay, I have no idea how this happened. Oh, you know what? We know how this happened. Stage mod. You're more of a glass half full kind of guy. That keep positive. Yeah, keep positive that our steel is working. Is that how it works? If we just believe it works, we're good. I don't know why I have a splitter here. It's fine. It's fine. Okay. So steel chest now should be producing more than enough. Yeah, we're producing huge surplus of those. Good. Refineries now are broken. What the what? You know, we might not have enough steel still. Although this is running weird. Oh, this one is okay. One of the steel lanes steel grabs from splitter. It's not safe to grab from a splitter using an inserter, using a burner inserter. At least not a self-fueling one. Okay. So this is weird. I don't know why these are backed up. Because there's no way these are producing 15 per minute. Yeah, no, they're producing 12. So this is backed up, I think, just because it was backed up to start. I guess realistically, these don't consume that much steel. So I need to limit one of these. But honestly, even when it's not limited, like this is fine, this is fine, this is fine. Substations should be fine. Yeah, substations are fine. So we're producing like 4 times the substations we need. 50% times the, sorry, 2 times the steel chest we need. That is a significant amount of steel, and it still seems to be going okay. Although I imagine the number is going to decrease again. You know what? Yeah, we're good. Okay, so those are fine. We fixed a lot of the broken parts. Rails. You know what? Rails, yeah, we're good on rails. I don't know why I even bothered. How much science am I producing? Because I'm assuming I'm producing science right now, right? Everywhere. Of course, these are browned out. Excellent. Again, something that is not technically, yeah, no, this is something that is technically not possible to happen. So I don't need to be concerned about it. These are not hooked up. Oh, that's because we're voiding them. That's fine. That's not the thing I care about. Okay, so we should be buffering all this science, right? These aren't running at all. Wait. Stone is missing. Oh my gosh. Right, all of our steel lanes broke because of the mod. I need to stop. Like, I keep seeing this stuff, like, break, and it's like, and thinking my base is falling apart, and it's just because, like, things break. Okay, this one is just me not connecting fuel. So fuel is missing. Fuel missing left iron. Third from top. Okay. So yeah, we can't really blame that. How's our module production actually? I need to look at that. Ooh. Uh that's garbage. That's absolute garbage. We're producing not enough of any of them. Okay. Is that because of the circuit lane breaking, or is it because of a bad split with red chips? This lane does not run. This doesn't get green chips. Okay. And why doesn't it get green chips? Oh, because this entire lane is broken. Okay. So fuel is also very clearly missing up here. Fuel missing top left. I mean, this is an important phase. Fuel missing top left. So out of all of this, like 3 of our circuit lanes were broken. Wait, where is this one? Okay, second from top left. Gap and belt. You know what I should have done? I should have just loaded up a second instance of this factory and done the testing on a separate instance of Factorio so I could actually fix them next to each other. Let's see. This is belts missing output. Missing fueling in Big Mall. Although that doesn't seem like it matters a ton. I think we're okay in that department. Okay, now that things have been running better, how's our refineries? Okay, refineries are struggling. Chem plants are now not producing. So it looks like we don't really have enough steel right now to run all of this full speed. When what's tricky though is because I know once they buffer, we definitely have enough of everything. But I think we should probably take steel from somewhere else. We should steal steel from somewhere else. That's a better way. That's a better way of phrasing it. Oh, hello, bots. Welcome, welcome. Except not really. Yeah, we need steel, more steel for Big Mall. Which we can get from so many places throughout our base. Okay, so science should be working now? No, it's still not working. What is it missing? It doesn't have stone. No, it still doesn't have steel. What the heck? Oh, okay, that one we just never connected. Okay, so steel is missing fuel. Good to know. Steel graphs from splitter. Fuel missing from left top. Steel for purple. No fuel. There we go. Okay. And then I'm assuming it does that for both of them, yes. And then it's probably safe to assume that the inserters are going to brown out, so we're just going to redo the whole stage, or the whole phase. That should work. Okay, so how is our production now? How is that not powered? How is that not powered? What the heck? Okay, so these aren't getting, like, any red chips. These still haven't started. Okay, I like the timing on that. These still haven't started right as the lane starts to run full speed. I think I might be splitting this too much. Am I underproducing? Hold up. That doesn't make sense. Unless these are split too much. So that produces 11. This consumes 10. So if I'm sending more than one up top, it gets problematic. Oh, that's not great. We might need to do a prod plus a speed in each of these. That could work. Prod plus speed in each red assembler. So that would give me 4% more, which doesn't sound like a lot, but that is like half a green chip each. Or that is like half of a red chip more. Which is enough to power 2 more module buildings. I don't know, that might be too low. And then these also aren't running. Okay. So what is up with our red chip production everywhere? It shouldn't be this bad. It really shouldn't be this bad. This only uses 15 per second of wire. Yeah, so I don't know what the issue is here. Is it not saturating the belts? I mean, if it's not saturating the belt, it shouldn't be so undersaturated there. I wonder if it's just the start. It could just be that the start delay is way higher than I expected. Like that's very reasonable. The start delay is pretty high, especially since we can only speed this up by like 50% right now. That complicates it a lot. So it's probably just everything still starting. So now we're producing, see, now we're producing 300 efficiencies per minute. Or per 10 minutes. That's good. And I think we can remove about 150 from our outposts, so that means we should be good on those. Prod modules, we're not quite producing enough prod mods. However, if we change the prio, we can actually prioritize prod mods over speed modules fairly easily. Let's actually just do math. How much does this produce? That is 0.7. 0.7 times... How do I need 288 per outpost? Oh, four in every assembly machine. Yikes. We might need more prod production and less speed production. Not like our speeds are actually running anyway, but... I think that's a separate... Yeah, that's a separate issue. That has nothing to do with balance. They're just straight up not running. Okay. Perfect. And yeah, now reds are like backing up. Perfect. Okay, I that makes a lot more sense. It would have been weird if our estimates were off that badly. Okay, so these produce 0.7 per second. And we have 600 seconds to produce. So theoretically, this should be producing 420 per second, right? Or per minute. Yeah, okay. Exactly, 420 per minute. Awesome. And then they should mostly stop going towards science at this point, so that's fine. Speeds. Okay, everything's kind of running better now. We're still very short on burner drills. I think it's safe to pause it. Okay. Let's look at the... We can't do the 10-minute production yet. We can still just multiply by 10, though. Okay, so we're good on these. We're good on that. We're good on these. We're good on that. Modules good. Efficiency modules, they're not... Efficiency modules aren't doing great, if I'm being honest. They're struggling. they're very much struggling. But it's fine. I would have liked a little bit more headroom. But since efficiency modules are the least important thing for our outposts running, it's fine if we just cut them from our base. Like, they are kind of optional. Then I also need to figure out if efficiency modules would be better spent in assembling machines or in refineries or chem plants. I think they're better spent in assembling machines because they run more often, but I'm not sure. Yeah, those are good. 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 Good. Okay, we're actually not really producing enough pump jacks, which is weird. But I think that's totally fine because the way that this mall works, most of our pump jack can come from the original mall. And we can just limit it to like 200. And then this should produce more than enough. Because once this stops running, we really don't have much to do with it. We can't really repurpose it that much. Like, obviously, science gets consumed, but most of it kind of just goes to waste. How is this not hooked up properly? Let me guess. Steel's broken. Oh, copper's broken. Okay, well, that's a different thing to be broken. It also doesn't have bricks. Yep, that's why. Okay. No idea where this is supposed to go, but it seems important. We'll delete it. We'll add a splitter. And voila. Okay, so we should be getting bricks now. That means we are also, I guess most of this stuff only goes to power. None of this is really mall stuff, so it's not a huge deal that it's not producing. I would like to measure robots. Robots is the one thing that I'm very unsure of for how much we're producing. We don't really have, I don't think we really void them either. Let's see. Well, we could always check. Construction bots. Yeah, we're not producing any. Oh wait, that was in the past 5 seconds. Yeah, we're not producing any. Okay. But I guess realistically, most of them are produced here, so that does make sense. And then these just aren't hooked up. These only go... I don't think these are used for bots, so I think we're fine. But this is what's... Okay, this is what's causing bots to not work. I think that's fine. Oh, we need to add more fuel. Okay, is there anything we fixed over here? I don't think there's anything we necessarily fixed. Hold on. Okay, sorry. Someone's asking about a shopping order. Okay, so this should be working now. Yeah. Oh, okay. Ow. Ow. I almost stabbed myself with a pin. Bottom right. Wire assembler. Missing input. Yeah, it definitely would have been better for me to just have a second save open, but that also would have made it take a lot longer to test stuff. Okay, so this should give us an idea of how many RoboFrames we're producing, and we can make the assumption that all of those can become bots eventually. Wow, this stage blueprint thing is rough for burner inserters. It makes it so hard to test stuff. Like, all of these designs are impossible to brown out with a single inserter, so it's weird. But it shouldn't be an issue in the actual run. Okay, so those are producing better. Efficiency modules should be producing good now. Or they're not producing at all? Wait. What the heck happened to efficiency modules? Okay, so these just stopped producing. This ran out of plastic. What? Ah. I wonder where it was getting its plastic from. Why is there a splitter here? Well, either way, we should be good. You know, that might have been something we broke, because this was working originally. Plastic. Last. More like plastic. Missing belt. Okay, so that seems alright. I like how every time we find a bottleneck, something else is broken. Let's check splitters. Oh yeah, we're producing more than enough fast splitters. Like, 4 times more than we need. Which means we should have plenty of surplus for fast splitters to be content. So yeah, we're missing module production for sure. Oh, we have RoboFrames. Okay, so it looks like we can produce about 500 bots per second. However, we can't do that while we're also producing yellow science. So I don't know how much goes into yellow. Let's see, where is yellow production? We can look at what this takes full speed. So this consumes 0.7 per second. 0.7 times 60, that consumes 42 per minute. That only gives us 8 remaining bots. That gives us 100 bots every 10 minutes. We need more bot production, apparently. More bot production for Outpost, because I don't think 100 bots will cut it. We could cut down on yellow science production. That's also an option. But this isn't even getting, yeah, this is barely even getting enough robo frames. We're definitely struggling. Although it's possible that they're still starting. It's one of those things where a lot of our production is very, very delayed. So it's hard to tell if it's actually running. Like this, obviously, this one's just flipped. And then somehow they're not getting enough batteries, which doesn't make any sense. Actually, yeah, that doesn't make any sense at all. Why aren't these getting enough batteries? Huh. Batteries are supposed to go up here. I think they're supposed to be side-loaded. No, that's supposed to be supplemental green chips. Huh, where are batteries supposed to be? This definitely isn't right. Okay, so that's batteries not sent to frames. We have a list of like 15 errors so far in our base. It's great. Definitely not scary. Although realistically, this is a good chunk of the mistakes that we have, so that makes me feel a little bit better. I mean, it's not great, but it's not the end of the world. Let's just do red right now. We can do a more elegant solution later. And then we can just delete this, and then I think we should have we should be good on batteries. Okay, so with the batteries hooked up, that should increase our bot production by a decent amount. Because now these are running a lot better. And if we look at our RoboFrame, so that's gonna go up. So it's at we're at about 150 surplus bots right now. This will increase it to, let's see, 0.2 times 60. So this will give us about, okay, so we're at about 250 bots per minute. Sorry, not per minute, per 10 minutes. A little bit lower than I would like, but it's not impossible. We have an unsafe inserter. Okay, unsafe inserter in electric engines. Okay, that's an easy fix. Then we should be good now on modules, now that we fixed it. We're still not producing efficiency modules. Never mind. What's wrong with this? This still isn't getting plastic. That's weird. What's the issue with plastic? It doesn't get enough coal. Huh. It should be fine. Is it not getting 2 full belts of coal to begin with? Because I feel like this should be getting 2 full belts, but for some reason it isn't. Maybe I don't have it split evenly. It's possible I accidentally made the split not 50-50. Oh yeah, that's not split 50-50 at all. Wait. Yeah, okay, I see the problem. So this is supposed to have the belts converge halfway down the lane. Yeah, these were supposed to be staggered. Okay. Plastic not staggered as well. That's a huge issue. Okay, so we have a fix for that. It's called let's spawn in the fuel for now, because we know this. We know we have enough. I'm not too concerned with that. Okay, so that's why plastic was limiting. That's why we're not getting red chips. Okay, I think that's our biggest bottleneck there. If we could balance the red chips, that would also be really nice. Because these, I don't think we really send surplus anywhere that matters. We can use surplus red chips for modules. Should be good. And then we also could use buffer for sulfuric, buffer for blue chips. Right now we don't actually have a buffer for blue chips because it doesn't really do anything. It's just to make it that we keep producing. I want my main base to keep producing green chips anytime it can, so large buffers help with that. And then we can start draining them. Okay, you know what? There was a peak production where this was working, so I think it's safe to assume that our efficiency modules are good. Robot frames, we're producing about 200 per 10 minutes. Still very low. But every other resource has been consistently high enough to where I think we're good. Now, we're only producing 10,000 science every 10 minutes. That feels really low, right? Or sorry, 1,000 science. No. Sorry, we're doing 6,000. We're doing 6,000 of each science per hour. Is that enough? It should be enough, right? Gosh, I hope it's enough. How much is that? My goal is 2 science per minute, right? Am I reaching that? 6,000 per hour is 100 per minute. Sorry, I'm trying to aim for about 2 to 3 per second. I guess technically it's enough. It is struggling a little bit for some reason, but I think that's because my red chip balance isn't great. I don't remember how much total yellow science we need. Victorio total science for Tech Maniac. I feel like someone's listed it somewhere. Let's see, we need about 5,000 red, 50,000 red and green, 30,000 military, 20k purple, 30k yellow, 45k blue. Okay, so blue, red, and green produce for a lot longer and a lot more stably. A lot more stably. Yeah, that's a word. So that's fine. 27,000 purple? No, 20,000 purple is rough. And what do we need for mining productivity? All of them. So we actually need an additional... We need an additional 7,000 on top of that, so that's an hour at our rates. That's not too bad. Purple is not producing. We have some issues with purples. Actually, no, we're producing purple. No, we're producing purple. Just not as fast as I would like. There are some issues, but they're not major. Okay, so we're producing 7,000, no, multiplied by 6, 4,000 purple per hour. That finishes in about 8 hours. That is cutting it. You know, we might be more research limited than I expected. But I think our issue is that these just aren't running fully. Yeah, so we need to fix the sushi. And then purple science really just isn't... It's not getting steel furnaces at all. Oh wait, that's why we're producing the worst purple. Okay. Prio from original purple. Prio away OG purple. I did not realize we were not doing that. That's actually quite bad. It's an incredibly easy thing to fix. But yeah, these are significantly worse for the same resources. So it looks like we are good on electric furnaces. It's just we're not using them correctly. So we should be getting about 20% more purple. That makes it in line with yellow. Steel seems good. It looks like there are places we can take steel from later on. So I'm pretty happy about that. Then efficiency modules are good. Okay, efficiency modules are now running full speed. How's our science? Okay, let's look at all of our science production over the course of an hour. Has it been running for an hour? I don't think it has. Let's do 10 minutes and just multiply by 6. Okay, so this is about 10k per hour. Well, a 9K per hour, 9K per hour, 9K per hour. Actually, more like 997. 99777. Okay, so yeah, they all produce enough over the course of, let's see, we need 6,200 red divided by 1,300 divided by 6. So that takes about 8 hours. So we are pushing it. We actually are very, very close in terms of our research speed, which is not ideal. We probably need to come up with a way to fix that somehow. Because I actually don't want research to be that tight, because I want my base to kind of stop running whenever I get to like the last couple outposts. I mean these are blinking, but that's not the research speed, so I guess that's fine. So like these, I can obviously tell what the problem is. They are not running half the time due to lack of due to a poorly made sushi belt. So if we fix the sushi for those are good. If we prio these, I think that's fine. So let's do a real quick fix right now. See if that, see how much we get from that. All we have to do, I believe, to prio this is send it here, and now it will prio the better production. And then these are not getting nearly enough steel for some reason, which does not make sense at all to me, considering this is so backed up on steel. So it's clearly a distribution issue. So that means we need another splitter here. We need to delete this, replace it with an underground, replace this, and then we're just going to do a little messy connection to see if that fixes it. Because yeah, we're not getting enough. We're not getting enough of this. I don't know how it's a problem. Oh, never mind. I see how it's a problem. I did not know that consumed so much steel. I think we assumed a lot of these wouldn't run full speed, but that's kind of a risky assumption. So we need to delete a lot of this. It doesn't help that we're actually sending surplus steel elsewhere. We need an output prio. That should help, actually. And then, can I just like cheat it through? I think I can cheat it through right now. Yeah, so we're just gonna cheat it through. We're gonna force sideload it, and then we're gonna supplement it. Okay, that should get us a lot more steel. So purple should actually run now. Okay, so we'll let that run for a little bit longer. I don't know how we can speed up. I don't know what the issue is with this. We're just not getting enough RoboFrames. Okay, we just straight up need more RoboFrames. Are we converting them to bots or something? Bot. We're not converting them to bots. I don't know how we're so short on RoboFrames. It doesn't actually make a ton of sense to me. These can't output. Wait, where do these go? I don't think... These aren't outputting properly. Well, these aren't running at all. Oh, okay, so one of these isn't hooked up. RoboFrame not hooked up, good. RoboFrame not connected to circuit belt or to engine belt. And then what else did we fix? Oh, right. Purple not prioed. And then furnaces missing steel. Awesome. So that should help a little bit. It's still, it won't help a ton though. So we're clearly struggling. What confuses me is why when I type bot, nothing comes up. Okay, there we go. So we are producing 300 bots every 10 minutes right now, which is probably what's causing science to struggle. Also, these don't make it to yellow science, do they? I don't think not all frames go to yellow science. Not all frames go to yellow science. I have like an entire page of notes now that I have to fix. But at least I know that I'm producing enough of the important stuff. That's what matters. Like these run real well now that steel is actually connected properly. Stick's not powered. I guess these aren't voiding properly, but I think we're good on steel. 6 not powered at Big Mall. Okay, so that'll be fun. Are there any other things I desperately needed to check? Also, how do I reset this? Reset filters. There we go. Okay, let's check on science again now that we hopefully fixed it. Oh, that's way better. Okay, so purple science is now producing, I think, as fast as I need it to, right? I mean, ideally the assemblers should be able to run full speed. If they're not running full speed, I'm limited by something. Or at least if they're not close to full speed. They look like they're doing pretty well. They do idle a little bit. But I don't think there's much we can do about that. Yeah. Okay, so these do only run at about like 95% speed. I think that's okay. Because yeah, that means we're producing about 1600. Okay, that gives us a lot of wiggle room. 1600 compared to 700, way better. So purple is good. I know it's not called yellow science, but I always type yellow science. But yeah, yellow science is the only thing that's struggling. Green, actually, we do produce not enough of, but I don't think that's a huge issue. Because I don't think we have a buffer chest for it. Up here. Actually, no, these just aren't running. Okay, so that's fine. These just aren't hooked up. What's the issue with these? Okay, so that's fine. We're probably I think it's a safe assumption that we're good on red and green science. Considering what we're producing is literally just from our starter base. If that supplement isn't enough, I don't know what is. Okay, we're not getting enough engines for blue. What's the bottleneck? Steel? Okay. That is fixable, I believe. Oh, I forgot we're producing beacons here too, which aren't actually running, but beacons are good. Yeah, this was a terrible design for blue science. I might have to redo blue science. This just doesn't run very well with sushi. Like, it runs, but you can see it's only running at about 20 out of 24, so what, 80% speed? I have to supplement steel at like 3 separate spots, so we might have to consider blue science redesign. We have enough space, I think. Yeah, I think we will be good. We might have to beacon it or something, which would be weird, but we could beacon it and then we have enough space because it's never going to be input speed limited. Because we only have this space to work with, which is the troublesome part. We've kind of locked in that size. We could do additional blue science up here if I really needed it. But we need to de-sushify blue science. It just, it doesn't work. It does not work with inserters, unfortunately. Sushi with burner inserters, people suggest it all the time. It's not that functional. It is fun. And we did design it though. That's the fun part. Okay, so we just need to figure out how we get more of this. And I think the solution to that is to actually connect all of our RoboFrames. So we need to figure out how it's connected in the first place. Which I tried following the belt, it didn't work. You know, I think that's a fair, we can just assume yellow science is an easy fix. Let's not fix this in the test one. But now that things have been running for a while, let's give it a double check. We're producing 100 Defender capsules every 10 minutes. That's not a lot. But I think the base, I think they all died. Yeah, I mean, I guess we're probably not going to use more than 100 per base that we destroy. So maybe it's fine. Like, we'll probably use 1 or 2 sets per base, so never mind. We're good on that. We'll also have personal lasers. And I said I was looking for modules, right? Look. That is not how I typed not... I was so far off in typing modules correctly. It made me think I was out. Okay, that is a-okay. We're going to save this test. We're going to add an S after it. Let's go fix that stuff. I was hoping to do water today, but I saw too many like actual errors in my base to actually test it. However, I did some estimates the other day, and by the other day I mean this morning. I think we don't need as much water as I thought. So it costs us roughly 450 megawatts to get 67,000 green chips per 10 minutes. Or sorry, per minute. So that is 4 million green chips per hour. We're not going to get above 10 million. That is practically impossible. We're probably not even going to get above 8 million, if I'm being honest. Which means our outposts only consume 900 megawatts total, which means our power might be oversized by a factor of 2. Actually, we should have looked at the... We probably should have looked at this. This would give us a reasonable estimate of how much power our main base consumes. I mean, I guess we do know that our main base will be largely idled by the time we're done with our outposting. So we're not that concerned with being able to run our main base and outpost at the same time. At least, yeah, we should be totally fine in that department. But I would like to at least be able to run them both together for a brief moment during the peak, because there will be a time. I think most of our base will still be running at least through, least for a bit. At least up until like the 20th outpost, probably. Or sorry, about 2/3 of the way through the outposting phase. Yeah, if we click on any of these, our entire base is consuming 300 megawatts. We're good. So we can cut, I think we can cut 20 pipes of water. That's a lot. Sorry, 20 pump jacks worth of water. So right now we need about 75, hold on. We need 75,000, or sorry, 80,000 divided by 1,200. So we need 67 pipes of water, which honestly is not as much as I thought. But if we can cut another 20 from that, we only need about 45 things of water. And that lets us go with a much, much simpler water design. We don't have to have like a weird staged approach. We can go with a much smaller lake. Or we can cut efficiency modules. That's another option. If we reduce the efficiency module count and do a larger power instead, that decreases... that allows us to do more roboports and stuff. And more bots. Kind of more bots. I don't know, bots isn't a direct conversion. Okay, so I need to prio away from the OG purple. I'm just going through my list now. So that was right here. We just need to find the right layer for all of these, because the layer for this does actually matter. Okay, so this will only run once purple comes online, basically. Or once the big purple comes online, which would be 4.1. Okay. Perfect, and we're good. Okay, so we are now prioing away from OG purple. Awesome, and we also have a spot for rails. I don't really know why we have rails here. Oh, this is the original outpost. That's why we have rails there. Okay, that is one thing off the list. Excellent. Buffer for blue chips. Honestly, that's kind of optional. I'm going to ignore that. Plastic isn't staggered. Okay, so that is up here. We're producing plastic, and I realized I didn't actually have plastic grabbing from two separate coal lanes. So what we can do is we can just split it here and follow along the side, although that requires a red belt to do. And it needs to go 16, so that would be right here. So the easier option, I think, yeah, the easier option is to actually just split it here. Perfect. And then are we in the right layer? Yes. So we go through, we go up, we go up, we go up, and then we go back down, and voila. And if I really wanted to, I could not truncate this. That would probably be a good idea. Hello, Arters. Welcome, welcome. That's going to input prio left. That should be good. And then the surplus will continue here. Yeah, I realized I accidentally built my plastic the wrong way a long time ago. So one of these, one half was, I was supposed to grab from coal from the top half for this original lane and then the bottom half for the other. And I totally forgot by the time I built it. So we're currently going through and fixing some obvious mistakes I made. Yeah, I really want this to have a prio, actually. Does that work? It might not work. I don't think we have enough space to do this how I wanted. This works. It's messy. There we go. That way the other side, each side can help the other. Oh, honestly, that probably doesn't matter. Hello, welcome back. We spent some time. While you're gone, we spent some time checking for errors. Well, actually, we were mostly testing to see if we were producing enough stuff, and that's when we discovered like a couple dozen errors, which, you know, makes sense. More spaghetti. Yes, more spaghetti. Or potatoes. Okay, we need more belt production, more bot production for outposts. That one's a tricky one, but bots aren't producing that good. Yellow assembler is barely cutting it. Do prio? That would be a yellow science assembler is barely cutting. But turns out we had another issue there, actually. Okay, blue assembler from Underground Mall. Or OG Mall. Okay, so this right here needs to outpost to our main base. Where is it? Okay, so this produces a lot of assembling machines, actually. Like a very significant amount of our assembling machines are produced here. And in fact, we do not send them to our outpost. So we need to do that. I think we're going to have to do something a little bit cursed here. Or, you know what? This would be a little bit safer. A little bit more expensive, but I think it's worth it because it's so late in the run. Yeah, we don't need this for a few stages, right? Yeah. Perfect. Okay. So we're actually going to just put this on the to-do list, but blue assembler through base. I don't really want to do that right now. I just wanted to fix the mistake first. But yeah, this produces like half of our blue assemblers. This also produces a decent amount, but this one I'm less concerned with going to main. Although I might as well. Honestly, there's no reason for me not to set it up though. It's so easy. Okay, there we go. That way I could theoretically use both of them. I say it's so easy, but I don't really have an idea in mind. And it looks like both of our RoboFrames do in fact output to our base. Excellent. I really hope one of these is fine. Can save on one belt for this new coal line. Yeah, you're right, I can. I can shift it down, can't I? Might as well. Free is free. You had boiled potatoes, fried... Ooh, pig tenderloin with salve and mushroom cream sauce. What's salve? That sounds like a medicine to me. Like a healing salve, so I feel like that is not... that's not correct. But you can't go wrong with pig tenderloin. One of my favorite breakfasts is fried pork tenderloin. It is incredibly unhealthy, but oh my gosh, is it good. Especially with like brown gravy. A lot of people eat it with sausage gravy, but I'm not a huge fan of that. Okay, put red and green science on the wrong side. So I actually messed up this. This one is... Oops. We need to change it on the correct layer, though. Okay. So yeah, we actually hooked it up wrong. So this outer one is red science. Yeah. So we messed that up. Oh, sage. That makes a lot more sense. I wasn't sure. It sounded like it could have been a thing. Now you're going to become even more hungry, but you just had spaghetti. Oh, wait, no, you didn't have spaghetti. You just said spaghetti. I don't know why I assumed that meant you also had spaghetti. Okay. Red and green is on wrong side. Fixed. I just have a note here that says mixed. Oh, you know what it is? I wrote it, and it turned out there wasn't actually an issue with my blueprints. It was just an issue with the iron input. I set it up wrong. So that's fine. Copper input on left is broken. That is very vague, but I know which one it's talking about. Okay, so right here, we accidentally rotated this the wrong way. Which backed up the entire lane very terribly. And that's all that was wrong there. And then I think there was another thing. So that was here. And then I believe the second section of this, we had a belt that was just not connected. This one was one tile over. I think we built that on the wrong layer. Yeah, okay. So that would be iron, second from top, gap and belt. Awesome. Fuel missing, top left. So we're actually missing a lot of fuel lanes. Like a lot of fuel lanes. I don't know which one top left is, but we broke a lot of them. So we'll need to restart that and see which ones have fuel. Actually don't know what top left is referring to. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. This can be made cheaper though. Saves an entity, might as well. I think we fixed it in most lanes. Yeah, that was just the one we missed. Ooh, banana cake for dessert. Ooh. Is that what you call banana bread? Because that makes more sense. Or is it a separate thing? Because we have banana bread and it's effectively just a cake in the shape of a loaf of bread. But it could also just be a different thing. I've just never heard of it, so I was curious. Oh, this one is also broken. Okay. Okay. No fuel on right steel. That actually goes for a lot of the steel. And this one's not connected at all. We kind of forgot to connect steel to our actual base. Okay. Then we shift it over. We go through. 1, 2, 3. Who knows when you make up words? I don't make up that many words. that one's not one I made up. I make up a lot of other words. Okay, I'll give you that. I make up a lot of things. I feel like I make up a lot of words. Okay, you know what? That wasn't worth it trying to keep in line there. Yeah, who needs steel? No run in the history of Factorio has ever been limited on steel. I've definitely not something that happens. Okay, very, very easy fix. Can't believe we messed that up. We possibly need more steel from somewhere else. This literally just says steel. So there's a lot of things where I started to write it down, then I realized it wasn't a problem. Refineries ain't work is a note I wrote. I don't think that meant anything. Refineries ain't work is quite the sentence. Copper input is left is broken. Okay, so we did that one. One of the gear lanes is unsafe. Okay, so there was a gear lane here. No, not here. Here? That was rotated the wrong direction. Yeah, okay, so this we flipped, but we didn't actually flip the input inserter. This still technically speaking, this is still a little bit unsafe. This is the wrong one. No, this is right. Yeah, so this is still technically a little bit unsafe, but it's pretty good. Past anti coming back to hunt Kernan. Is past anti from like 5 minutes ago too? Unless you just mean the well, you know what? We got our own anti-DRMs, right? Okay, and then I have a note here that says steel grabs from splitter. I did not say where. So one of the steel lanes grabs from a splitter. Ah, there it is. There it is. Okay. Burner inserters cannot grab from a splitter, even if you prio the splitter, apparently. I thought it was safe if you had, like, fuel over here. If you prioed it to the left, but that still actually breaks the inserter. I think it takes a little bit longer to grab from a splitter than it does a regular belt. Because it makes it just enough for this to be unsafe. Like, just slightly increases the delay. Which I guess makes sense, because doesn't the splitter, like, overlap the belt and cause it to travel a little bit longer? Because I know there's some weirdness if you, like, make the belt invisible. They kind of, like, crunch together. So I wonder if it takes longer to go through. I don't know. But either way, it doesn't work. We're at the dementia stage. Exactly. Fuel missing on left iron third from the top. Okay, see, that's a very specific lane. One of these is missing fuel. Okay, I probably could have been more specific, but, you know, it worked. It's all right. We're at the dimensions. Yeah, that sounds about right. I would describe it that way. It definitely feels like dementia. Okay, I think we are missing. I don't think that was the only time we were missing fuel in that way. What is the splitter for? We don't need that. Actually, wait, what does this fuel do? What did I just connect? That feels like it's got to get fuel really late. What do you mean? Like, because it just goes so far? Wait, which direction does this belt go? Oh, that's why the splitter is here. There's two belts. Oh, I thought these all went to the right. Twitch doesn't allow you to send it 3 times, breaking the jokes. I had my response ready for a 3rd time too. Takes from very low priority belt. Ah. Good point. We'll add a second compressor. Okay, yeah, that good catch. Let's just add 3 more splitters. Okay, so that should be good. Fuel missing from left, good. Fuel missing top left. Okay, so there's another similar missing one. Okay, assuming we copied from here, if I had to guess, it's going to be a section that looks similar to this. So let's try to look for this pattern. Because I could see myself copying something that was broken and making the exact same mistake. Okay, well that was a nice hunch. That wasn't the issue. Ah, this does not... No, that does have fuel in it. Okay, I can't mark that one off because I can't figure out what's wrong with it. That's going to drive me crazy. I mean, I guess when we do the second testing phase, it will work out. What is this? Why isn't this connected? Why is this connected weird? Is that the right stage? No, it is not. Okay. Oh, wait, did we... We might have built this on the wrong stage. Hold on, let's check. Okay, we did not. Okay, so this one, we're going to highlight. Fuel missing top left. Question mark. Question mark? Question mark. Okay, production and speed in each red assembler. Okay, so we are slightly hurting for prod modules. So I'm thinking something like this could be worth it. Now, it might not seem like a lot, and it's really not. It's 4% more red chips, but that's enough to have... That changes it from having enough to not having enough. Or having barely enough to having some surplus, so things start faster. Now, ironically, we do need prod modules to start this, and that's what these are going into. But I think it will give us a much more consistent module production that we can justify it, especially this late in the run. Then we can do the same for all the others. And if we do one of each, it basically just gives you free resources at the cost of a little bit more power. I mean, double power, but it's not like we're that power limited. Yeah, it is kind of a catch-22 situation. Fortunately, I think we do actually have modules elsewhere, so it's not that big of a catch-22. It's not fully inescapable, but yeah, it's definitely pushing it. Okay, belt missing fuel in Big Mall. Yes, I know what that is. That sounded sarcastic. I do actually know what that means. Big Mall is referring to... Oh, wait, actually... No, these are two separate notes. There was a section here that was missing fuel. One of these assemblers doesn't go... One of these didn't go all the way through. Huh. Yes, this one. There it is. Okay, cool. I didn't imagine it. Awesome. Oh, this is hand built, so that wouldn't really break things. It would be hard to miss. Okay, belt missing fuel in Big Mall. So Big Mall refers to this. Belt missing fuel refers to it missing fuel, but I don't know which one. I think... Let's see, that's getting fuel. This is getting fuel, so those are good. Also, we don't need these belts anymore. We can actually tone down our fuel production a little bit in main, if we so desire, because it turns out we don't actually we don't benefit much from sending fuel to the outpost, so we're just not going to bother. Have you ever shown you my 20 per minute tier 3 module blueprint? You won't believe how bad it is before the modules in it are filled. You've mentioned it before. I don't think I've actually seen it, but you definitely mentioned it, and it sounds really neat. What does missing fuel belt in main mall mean? Missing fuel in main mall. Oh, wait. Is it this? No, it is not. I remember there was one section that we didn't connect coal to. Where is coal? Yeah, we shifted coal, but we didn't actually shift the input. So we need to do that real quick. There is a broken assembler between stages and mall. Do you have an idea? Which mall? The early mall or the giant mall? The giant red belt mall. Because it should be easy enough to find. I just want to know which one I need to look at. Steel for purple, no fuel. Okay, so purple science just doesn't have a fuel well. Okay. Oh, that's terrifying. Yeah, I don't like that. We're going to have to double check a lot of these. Hand built in science area, if you remember from 5 Mins correctly. Hand built mall. So down here. Ah. Don't know how that happened. Thank you. Yeah, that one at least probably would have been, would have noticed that one when I was placing it because I just hold left click. I wonder how that happened. Oh, I think I did swap. I know how it happened. I actually switched from red science being right aligned to left aligned and green science, which was a very manual fix. Yeah, that tracks. Okay, it's production and speed in each of the red assemblers. Okay, so we only did that for the last one. Could do all, though. Steel for purple is missing fuel. Okay, so we somehow managed to not connect fuel to any of this. Which would be this one. Oh, yeah, you know what? I see how we managed to not connect fuel to any of this. What the heck is this design? Actually, no, that's not the one that's... It says steel for purple. Is it a different steel for purple? I mean, I guess I do have two steel for purple. I should have been more specific in my notes. I mean, we'll find the mistakes again when we also test it later when we do the staging. It's just nicer to find it now. Okay, this is steel for purple. There we go. Okay, that tracks. Perfect. Okay, so that's a very easy fix. We just copy this. We line it up here. And voila. We're good. This one can actually be an underground. Okay. Steel for purple is fixed. I think we actually messed up both of them. Yeah, we did mess up both of them, so same thing again. Although this one requires even more compressors, but that's okay. Not a big deal. And this one goes here. And then this looks like we can actually entity save a little bit. Anything that does like 2 belt, I think is worth entity saving on. Usually. That's been my rule of thumb. It's hard to say. Like, obviously, entities versus iron count is a tricky thing to judge. So a lot of it is just being like, it's probably okay. That's bad. That's really bad. Missing iron lane? Actually, wait, hold up. That might be intentional. I might have been aware of that. If this is an no, never mind. This is an iron lane. I was not aware of that. Okay. So this isn't connected. This is getting iron from a magical source, not from the trains, which means we need another train of iron. We don't need another train of iron, but we need to compress iron from here up there. So we need to shift all of these up by 1. Not the worst thing that could have happened, but it is going to waste like 20 belt. Okay, steel for purple, no fuel. We're good on that. Bottom right wire assembler is missing inputs. Bottom right would be over here. I don't know what kind of inputs. I think... there it is. I remembered it being some kind of furnace. Now, a lot of this stuff was missing fuel, but I think it's not because I forgot to attach fuel. It's because the mod broke it. Plastic last is missing belt. Okay, so it looks like I got more specific as I went on, so that's good. Right here. I got better at labeling my notes about halfway through. Batteries not sent to frames. That's very straightforward. There's only one spot we're producing batteries here. And then I think I need to redo I think I need to redo blue science. I have a really fun sushi mall for blue science, but the thing is, burner inserters aren't great. So we don't actually have enough steel density for this to work as a sushi mall. Because we can't use red belt, and we can't use the other half of the belt either for fuel. So, well, no, yeah, because some of these are undergrounds. Yeah, we can't read directly from the belt. I might be able to rearrange some of them to read directly from the belt. That could work. But we just don't have enough steel. So we either need to read directly from the belt to give myself enough coal, which is it's a pretty minor redesign. It's actually not the worst thing in the world, but we just need a higher density of steel. And the only great, like, you can either sideload at various points, which we're already sideloading at 3 points, and it's still kind of struggling, or 2 points, and it's still kind of struggling. So I should just take away the sushi part. Burner inserters are superior, and you can't convince them otherwise. That's true. Burner inserters are superior. They have no issues. No issues at all. Actually, I guess we can't really fix steel because we're also pipe and gear limited. Although I think pipes and gears I supplement at 2 points. Yeah, we just need to remove the sushi. Sushi. Yeah, change the into window will ruin them. That's why our goal of the run is to do it before that. A month or so before. And then it turns out that frames are not actually running properly. These ones were not getting batteries. And I couldn't figure out what I was doing wrong here. So this was supposed to, I think this was supposed to be filtering out green chips. And then I realized, because I didn't know what it was when I put that splitter there, it's actually just supposed to be a splitter. I thought I was supposed to be splitting out green chips and sideloading them, but yeah, that was not the case. So this just goes right there. Okay, that's all that was missing there. Okay, I overcomplicated that earlier. Unsafe insertion at engines. I said L engines, and I was like, I don't speak Spanish. What does this mean? So this right here is unsafe. Yeah, that makes sense. Very easy fix too. Okay, so we move this up. We remove that because it doesn't do anything, and we flip it. Okay, it's now safe. There you go. That's literally all that was wrong with that one. The reason we had to take notes and not actually make changes is because we noticed the changes in a test world where I was making permanent destructive things to just void resources. There wasn't really a great way to do that in a way I could delete it. You know what I could do if I ever need to void something? I could start using stack inserters instead, because they can fit in a lot better places, and I could just decon all of them in the blueprint easily. That's an option. Stick's not powered at Big Mall. I missed a fueling for one of my sticks. But yeah, I definitely the vase definitely gets pretty large, so better notes would have been nice. This right here is literally just missing this connection. Very, very easy fix actually. I'm totally okay with that. Okay, buffer for blue circuits. That's not strictly necessary. I'm just gonna add that to this task list instead. Buffer blue circuits. Missing iron, not from main mall. Missing iron lane from train on left side. That's such an annoying mistake. It's fine. Like, we're obviously not going to send another train, so it's not the worst thing in the world, but I thought we had connected all the trains. That's really the only one that we missed though, so I think we're okay. Fuel missing middle assembler. I don't know what that means. Use surplus red chips for... Red belt. Oh, yes, I know what that one means. Use surplus red chips from here to feed here. Because right now we don't actually use buffer blue chips. Send spare red chips elsewhere. Those don't actually go hand in hand. I need to choose one or the other. So I want them actually. We need to make that decision. Robot frame not outputting onto engine belt. What? I think one of our robo frames isn't actually outputting. Oh, yeah, I see it. Okay, so we don't actually have a way to send all of our RoboFrames to science. Now, I don't exactly know where our science pass-through is. I'm assuming it's this belt. So if I follow this, these can all make it. These should cut through, so this can make it. Okay, so yeah, that one's good. No, actually, they do. They do all make it to yellow science. Okay, that's unfortunate. I was hoping that was our fix for yellow science. We just need more frames. Okay, so if we're redoing, what do robo frames cost? They're pretty cheap, right? They're mostly just slow. So they need lube. So if I can get engines up here, everything is fun. Fun challenge. Good luck. Thank you. Thank you. We're going through and making sure our base is actually like working. We fixed a lot of mistakes today. I imagine there's still some, but obviously there's still some because I haven't cleared all my list. And this is such a big base. There's definitely going to be more. These weren't running earlier. I think that's because of a test stuff. So the problem with belt visualizer is I don't know if that breaks. I think I was having issues with some mod with stage blueprint planning. I don't know if it was belt visualizer or if it was a pipe visualizer, but it caused a lot of errors that could not be fixed. So I didn't want to add it back. It was something that would have to be added back on a case by case basis. I might have had the wrong one, but it was kind of a scary realization that I could just corrupt my entire world. I know editor extensions caused very permanent damage, so it might not have been the other one at all. But either way, I'm scared to do any more. Okay, so this is a tricky part. So we need more steel up here, right? The thing is, we don't produce steel anywhere close. So we don't really have a great way to get it. So the only way I can see right now to get steel is to take it from here or here. These are our two closest steel spots. Now, I think the fastest way to do it would actually be to route it like around the base, or the easiest way to do it. And considering we need it so late, that's not a terrible option. Like, obviously, I wouldn't want to do that early, since it's going to be like 200 tiles of travel. Or sorry, like, what is it? 50? It's going to be like 1,000 tiles of travel, maybe more, maybe 2,000. But on the other hand, this is a pretty late section, so it's fine. I say it's fine. It might not be fine, but I think we'll be okay. Why would you not choose the pasta route? Because I still have a couple other things I have to route through the base that are actually important. So I'm trying to limit the pasta where I can, because I know I still have like 2 or 3 things I have to route through the base. At least one. I guess it depends how I do chem plants. So we have a couple options actually. So you have the new the updated outpost, right? So it has 10 more refineries, which means I don't have enough oil anyway. So I need to do either 2 pipes, or I could do pumps. I feel like pumps aren't great because pumps mean I would have to use a blueprint. So I feel like I shouldn't do the pump route. But we could technically do a single pump. How will you fill the builder train? Like this. So it's not doing chest to train because that's too slow. We're doing belt to train, and then we'll have buffer chests for all of the resources in intermediate. So like we'll have a buffer chest for burner inserters, belts, conveyors, and stuff. Anything other than those 5 don't necessarily need a buffer chest. But we'll have a buffer chest nearby, but we can't buffer directly from the chest. We can't fill directly from the chest, just because burner inserters. Enough said. But yeah, we can't do it because of burner inserters. What is this? Oh, that's your blue chip thing. That is a lot of beacons. Wait, what modules does this produce? All of them? Oh, it produces all of sept efficiency. So it is self-fueling, but I imagine it runs really, really slowly initially. What do you feed it? Do you feed it? I don't see any furnaces, so I'm assuming you feed it. I'm assuming you feed it plates, coal, and liquids. Okay, so it doesn't process it from raw ores. Oh wait, never mind. It does. There they are. Wow. Imagine being able to use beacons. Imagine having a benefit to stack inserters in a furnace. Wouldn't that be nice? Wouldn't that be nice, huh? If our burner inserters ran that fast. But yeah, we might pull up belt visualizer at some point. Because it might not be the one that breaks it. Okay, fuel missing middle assembler. Halfway there. I think that was referring to this. Because I don't know what else middle assembler could mean. That doesn't really make sense. That note just makes no sense to me. So I'm going to put a question mark by that. I use surplus red chips for more red belt. That's a question too. Although that one's not a confused question. That's like we have to choose between buffering red chips or buffering red chips. Blue chips or red chips, basically. One of them gives us more green chip production constantly. The other one is more useful. And then more inserters. So this one's just something that's just new that we need to do. So this one's nice and easy. It turns out we are not producing enough burner inserters. Very unsurprising. Very, very much unsurprising. But we are not producing enough burner inserters in our base that's using entirely burner inserters. Who'da thunk? So, we just need a little bit to pass through the base. Or we just need a little bit more production. Fortunately, burner inserters are incredibly cheap. The biggest issue with them is actually just output speed from a single inserter usually. Okay, and then we can sideload it onto a red belt, although we don't actually produce that fast. So you know what? Let's not sideload onto a red belt. That's just a waste. And then we can probably share this belt somehow. So we can actually fully saturate these, I think. So that's two inputs, and one output. That's all we really need for a burner inserter. Honestly, I think to just make it easier, I should just output to the top. So we were producing about 2,000 over the course of 10 minutes, which is 20% less than I need. Hello, Red Wraith. Welcome, welcome. So I need 400 over the course of 10 minutes, which is 7 per second. That's not right. 0.7 per second. There we go. Hi, just passing by. Well, thanks for stopping by. We're cleaning up our base a lot right now. I noticed a lot of mistakes, so that's what we're working on. So I'm very much not surprised by it. Sad about how many they were, but yeah, not really surprised. How fast does this consume and produce? 1 point. Okay, yeah, it needs 2 inserters. Okay, yeah, the easiest way to do it is to just loop it. That's not the right spacing somehow. You really want to change all not used belt to blue that were pasted in copy blueprints? You really want to change all not used belt to blue that were pasted by copying blueprints. I'm not sure what that means. Oh, you mean in his base? In Tice's thing? Or do you mean for mine? Okay, how much does this produce, by the way? 3 per second. These produce 3 per second. between the two of them. That's another 1800 per hour. Okay, so that should be good. Oh, and mine? Which not use belt? Do you just mean to like figure out which belts are like wasted? Yeah, that's fair. There are a lot of them. I mean, I don't think it's not that much in the grand scheme of things. Like there's some. Like there's obviously some, but a few thousand entities at the end of the day is actually not really that bad. I mean, if they're easy to fix, it's worth it. But I'm trying not to stress over those kinds of changes because I realize 5,000 entities will save like a few minutes, right? Like a 5,000 belt at the end of the day is not going to change the length of the run that much. Unless it actually breaks. If it's unused belt that breaks things, that's a whole different story. I broke the fuel belt. Thank you. Oh right, because I reverted it. Yeah, see that's the changes. That's the changes that's why honestly, that's why I haven't been focused too hard on like saving belt where I can, because it's just another point, another spot to make an error. So it's just like, what is the risk worth it? Sometimes it is. Okay, so that's all we needed for inserters. Now we're producing 50% more than we need. Okay, so technically we can do 8 outposts. We can do an outpost in 8 minutes, technically. We have enough production of everything to do an outpost in 8 minutes instead of 10, which I think would save like half an hour on the run. So if we make that our goal, what are we missing? Efficiency modules we need to remove from our outpost. Well, we don't need to remove them from our outpost, but I think I should only have them in every other assembler. So that will make it that we can reach 20% more efficiency modules. Refineries, that's good. We have so much excess of those. The only thing that we struggle with on this list is refineries, and just really refineries, actually. I'm pretty sure we're producing enough steel furnaces. I wasn't actually testing that last time because I just assumed we were good on those. This says it can produce 450 per hour, so, or sorry, 450 over the course of 10 minutes. So we should have enough furnaces. If we really need more, we can also take from here. It's a little bit more annoying, but it is something we can do. We can do that post. We can do that later. Post game. While we're waiting for the base to start, we can make some changes in the actual run, basically. But theoretically, we don't really need to do that because we have an overhead of like 20% spare. It would be nice to take from here because that does balance the steel between this lane and this lane, because this steel can go elsewhere, whereas this one can't. I'll put that in the note. Actually, that is in the notes, right? I'm not sure if it's through the notes. Connect original furnace lane, furnace assembler to outpost builder. My fingers got shifted. I feel like I got enough characters right that I'll figure it out though. Okay, so I think I'm pretty happy with the changes the things we fixed today. I feel like I missed some though. Furnace missing steel. Furnace is missing steel. Turns out that this steel lane is actually not inserter speed. It's belt speed limited. So we need to supplement it about halfway along the lane if we want these to run better. Which is trickier than I thought it would be. We can't really grab from a red belt. But on the other hand, rails aren't that important, so maybe we can. But ideally, we have a splitter up here. There we go. And then we send it down. Good old spaghetti. No, we couldn't. We couldn't stay away from it for that long. Okay, now we just need to look at the different layer. We can cut through the middle, but this lane kind of ruins the ability to cut through the middle forever. So we can cut through here, and then we can't do anything. So, because I kind of cheated and just used a blue belt last time to cut through, and it did work, but that's not viable. I don't think a red belt can reach. Yeah, a red belt can't reach. So we actually need to go under, which means we need to do some belt weaving. You know what? Let's just start with a red belt here so it's obvious. Okay. Can that reach? No, it can't. So much for belt weaving. That's okay, though. Because we still have this spot. There we go. Yellow, yellow, yellow. And then I think that's good. So now we just need to cut up top. That doesn't work. We need to go down first. Okay. There we go. That technically works. That technically works. That should get us more steel. I'm assuming we're producing enough steel for that. We might... It's a big assumption, actually. So we're producing 12 steel per second. We were sending half a steel per second. So we should be good. We should be good. I don't know how much of it needed to go to LDS. 3.6. What's 3.6 plus 7.5? Okay, so we did have 1 spare steel per second to send down to this, which doesn't sound like a lot. And it's not. But we only really needed to make like one of these run a little bit better, so I think we're okay. We probably need to change the prio, though. Yeah, so it's not the best solution, but it does improve our production. I'm surprised LDS isn't directly fed, but yeah, we might be struggling with steel over here. I think part of it will also balance out once the rails stop running. So this consumes 4.5 steel per second. We don't need that continuously. We only need that for a little bit. And that also is assuming these run full speed, which I'm pretty sure is impossible. Yeah, this can't run full speed. This actually runs at about 60% speed, which means there's 2 more steel here than I thought, which meant we should be going from powering these to powering these. So yeah, I think we're okay. We should be fine. Barely, but we're fine. Use surplus rich. Okay, so that one we have acknowledged. Buffer for blue chips, we've acknowledged. More bot production for outpost. Yellow assembler is barely working. Yeah. Our yellow science assembler is barely working. We need more Roboport. Actually, Roboports are optional. Roboports are definitely optional. This doesn't run. We must not have hooked this up in our testing earlier. So we should get Roboports from this. I think between the 3 Roboport assemblers we're good. Don't know how we're going to get this over there, but we might need a sushi Roboport throughout the base. Oh, we already have that. Cool. We have it as optional because we don't think we need it. Perfect. Okay, so we can just mark that off then. I still don't know what fuel missing middle assemblers means. Every few months you open Twitch and you see that you're still designing this run. I mean, we only work on it like a few hours a week. So like you make it sound like we've like been grinding constantly for months, but like it's really not that long. It would have been a month if I did it for every stream. Or it would have only been a month or two if we did it for every stream. So it looks a lot worse than it is in terms of how much time I spent on it. But yeah, I think people don't understand how large a 100% speedrun base is. 6 months is very reasonable. Oh, we need more steel for Big Mall. Okay, so that one, that's tricky to do. Big Mall need, optionally, could use more steel. It's not strictly necessary, and I think we could ignore that, but I want it there just in case. Because if we can find an easy route, there's no reason not to do it. I still don't know what fuel is missing for the top left. There's still, one of our lanes is definitely still missing fuel entirely. And I don't know which one it is. Roboframes are good. Furnace missing steel. I think we fixed that. Yeah, that's what we just did. Remove blue science. 100% space age base. I wonder if there is a strong possibility it won't be possible, so I'm not sure if it will exist. I think there's a good chance it won't be possible. Especially not in one stream. One stream is if it is, it's definitely not going to be a one stream category. Well, I guess it would. I guess it could be. It wouldn't be a one stream for me. But I think just beating Space Age as like any percent seems like it would barely be feasible. So the idea of it also, oh wait, this isn't set up properly. The idea of doing every achievement seems rough. But I do hope it's possible. But it's one of those things where like the devs they don't really have to make it that every achievement is possible in one run. So I'm not sure if the new achievements that they add, if they add any, are actually going to be doable. Because I couldn't blame them. I couldn't blame them if they didn't want to preserve that. Because it was just kind of a coincidence that it happened in the first place. I believe. We're just kind of lucky it's possible. And I imagine if they just don't force themselves to stick to that, they can probably make some more interesting achievements. So I can see there's a benefit to both. If it's not possible to do and run, oh, that's true. The category could just allow multiple runs. They could just say, like, make sure, they could just change the rules to allow reloading or whatever. That's a good point. Gosh, imagine if you had to get a different one. Imagine if you had to get a different seed and you had to re-roll 2 separate seeds for like a 24-hour run. That'd be brutal. They have stated that they will add an achievement for producing a legendary fish. I've heard that. I wasn't sure I believed it. But I have heard that rumor. If that is true, that is fantastic. Because I'm assuming you just have a chance of getting that every time you launch Space Science, right? Because how else would you produce a fish? Or is it, or do you get it from like scrapping, oh gosh, would you get it from scrapping a legendary, what's it called? Spidertron? Oh gosh, I hope that's not how you get it. Launching Space Science seems bad enough. Scrapping a legendary Spidertron seems so much worse. Oh gosh, there is a flipped belt somewhere. I think that's what this... Wait, is that what this means? I think I had a note somewhere that I thought said fuel, but it could have said flipped. Because there definitely was a mixed belt in a flipped belt in one of the copper lanes. I guess that's what the belt visualizer would be useful for. Is there any other way to like check for conflicts? I don't really know how I would check to see if the belts are flipped actually. I think it just I'll keep a note of it that says I think a copper belt is flipped, but that's not that useful, right? I think that's just something we're going to have to figure out in the phasing stage, the staging phase, the phasing stage. Because, yeah, I'm not, if there's a flipped belt, I'm not finding it. Yeah, okay, deconstructing legendary spider trunks, that does make sense. Rather than giving, wait, is space science something that can become legendary? I feel like it would be able to. Okay. That is actually it for the list of mistakes I found earlier, other than possibly flipped belt, which is not useful. So those are the mistakes. Now there are a couple things that were also just missing that aren't running well. So we should probably look at blue science real quick. I don't understand how we get enough gears if we don't have enough steel for blue science. That part doesn't make sense to me. Maybe we're limited on both, and I just only noticed the steel. Because I don't think we supplement steel at the bottom, do we? Yeah, no, we don't. Okay, so what kind of designs could we do for blue science that isn't sushi? Honestly, it seems very easy now that I'm looking at it. I don't think we're gonna have trouble with it. So, well, okay, well, I want to keep that there because that's the space we have to work with. But sushi blue science is a thing of the past. It was fun to build. It's just we can only get like 1.6 per second of each resource though, which is not enough. Like it's barely enough. And that's kind of like the upper limit. Realistically, it's more like 1.5. So yeah, I think we could still do direct fed engines. That should work. Now that part didn't seem to have any problem. So yeah, I think that design's good. And then that does tessellate well. And for this, we can just do an input. Wait, we don't have enough space to do an input and output, do we? I could technically keep doing this. The sushi here is fine, but it's not... I don't think it will make it that much larger if I don't have it. Let's try to build without it, see how that goes. So that would be input, output, input, output. This would be a standard grid build, basically, is what we're converting this to. Which means we would want fuel to go sideways. And then this will output probably something like this into a middle belt. Alternatively, we can do a side swapper, but I don't think that's necessary. But yeah, we could do a belt side swapper. It is a little bit denser, so it actually might be necessary. We'll see. And then this will use a side swapper as well. Space-wise, I know it takes up this much space, so I don't really need to make it accurate right now. We're just trying to get an idea of how big we can make the blue science build. Okay, and then we flip it. So theoretically, this works. And then we want 96 assemblers here. Oh geez. Yeah, I see now why we made sushi. I didn't realize the sushi was that much denser. That changes things. That really changes things. Huh, okay. I mean, yeah, the sushi isn't great, but that's way too big. Because how much could we fit? We can fit, in the same amount of space, we can fit 78 assemblers versus the 96. which is not enough. I believe it. It sounds plausible. Like that seems like a funny achievement they would have. Okay, so we could potentially put these elsewhere. You know what? I think sushi science is not... I don't think it's going to be our downfall. Okay. You know what? Sushi science, you get to stay. And instead we just have to find a separate spot to sideload steel. That's okay. I guess technically we only had... we have less than I thought. Okay, so red chips, sulfur... Red chips use 4 per second. Sulfur uses 1.3. How did I do that? How do I get enough red chips? Actually, how do I get enough red chips? That doesn't make sense. This is obviously the red chip lane. Do I supplement red chips at 2 separate spots? Yes. Okay, that makes sense. We supplement the red chips halfway. And it's a 50-50 split, so we can do up to like 3.5 of red chips. Okay. That tracks. So the only thing is that we need to get gears and steel somehow improved. Okay. So let's see. We could supplement steel down at the bottom. That's obviously that's pretty easy to get to. We also have this steel lane, which we could theoretically take from. I know this is for purple science, but if we de-prio it, it should be okay. And honestly, we probably don't need the blue science to run that full speed that perfectly. So yeah, I think if we de-prio this, we're okay. Oh, well, but it would still prioritize it over this, so it actually needed to be here. Because we want it to be like fully deprioed. Is that a word? Probably not. I guess we've already established I make up words. So we can say it. We can say it's a word. I like how I have 2 lanes of steel going this way because of prio purposes. I wonder if there's a more... there probably is a more elegant solution. No, there's definitely is. I just don't know what it is. Okay, so this steel lane is side-loaded here. So steel needs to be on the outer. It needs to be on the front side. Okay. That's easy enough. Okay. So this can be an underground. This can go here. This can go here. And I said steel is on the front. So for steel to be on the front, that means it needs to be... That's the leading end. Okay, there we go. Then we go into a splitter. We send it up. We send another one over here. And that's not worth an underground. Language in that's true. Language in general is just made up. I might make up words, but so does everyone else. That's how we got words in the first place. Okay, so this isn't perfect, but honestly, we don't need that much more steel, right? I just realized I thought I was doing the leading edge, but it's actually the trailing edge. Although that's fine. Okay, so gears we definitely don't produce enough of. Gosh, I hope we don't have a production issue with gears. But yeah, we need to supplement stuff down at the bottom probably. And then on the other side. So this is the gear belt. This part's straightforward. So let's just bring the gear belt down. This shouldn't be in the way of the train. If it is, it's not a huge problem. Okay. And then we just want to supplement about halfway down. Should be okay. What's this belt? I don't know what that belt is, but I imagine we can shift it around here. And we should be okay. And then this needs to be extended 1 tile. Okay. I don't know if we need a splitter here, so we're going to put one just in case. And then we need a splitter to filter out the gears, and we should be good. once we get this logic. So this goes this way. And then the filter is gears on the left. That should work. It should be that straightforward. And then it looks like we can cut through the middle here. Actually, we can have the splitter. I think we can have the splitter here. Saves very little, but I mean, technically it's something we can do. Actually, I don't think it saves anything. It doesn't save anything. That's fine. It makes it cleaner though, which is nice. And then this looks like it's going to need a red belt, which I try to avoid using. But honestly, we're late enough in the run that I think we can afford to use a little bit of red belt. Now this part's a little bit trickier. We actually need to like rotate these around, because I don't think we can sideload them onto one spot. Actually, wait, yeah, we can. Yeah, we can. Let's just sideload them up. I don't think we have enough space anywhere to sideload here. So yeah, I think we do have to split them. Oh, but unfortunately, we really don't have enough space for that. Can I move this forward? Maybe that solves it, if I don't have to work around that. Yes, maybe. It almost works. It almost works. But not quite, does it? The issue is with the sushi design. Oh, wait. There we go. Conceptually, it worked. Perfect. Oh, yeah, we could also just swap this, too. Okay. Now I can shift this back. Thank you. I don't know why I just assumed red chip wasn't flexible. Okay, perfect. Thank you. Okay, so this should go on the right. This should go on the left. Cool. So I don't know how much this really helps, but assuming we can actually get a full belt of pipe out of this, we should be good. Let's see. I think we just have to follow the belts like a normal person for now, because we still haven't added the achievement. Okay, can this give us a full belt of pipes? Technically, yes. Yeah, no, this gives us exactly one belt. Okay, so we should be good. Yeah, we can get a full... We need a half belt of gears, a full belt of pipe. Actually, sorry, a half belt of each. Half. Quarter belt of gears, half belt of pipe. Okay, so... How do we test this? I guess the easiest way to test this is just to give us an infinity filter to... Because really all I want to test is to make sure I didn't break the sushi with that, because sometimes rotating things causes issues. Okay, so that can go there, and then gears can go here, it looks like. That's not gears, but that's fine. Okay. So yeah, this only gets surplus gears, so I feel like we're doing like a trade of red science to green science, but that's fine. Breaking symmetry is important to make perfectionists mad. Yeah, people should not look at my base if they are worried about that. I don't think I think I would make a lot of people angry. Okay, so that seems fine. These are self-feeding, so I don't normally want them to grab directly from the belt across for them, but they also have logic to make sure they get fuel, so it should be okay. So now we just need to make sure red science does in fact run. So I think the easiest way to do that is to just give them infinite resources, right? That's the wrong kind of resource. Okay, and then I believe there's more red chips up here. And then sulfur is the same way. Oops, that's the wrong kind of belt. Okay, so we gave them infinite resources. This should tell us if we are in fact producing enough. I imagine they're also not powered, but that always happens. We just don't power our base. Okay, moment of truth. And here you thought this was an OCD friendly team. Yeah, I know. I shouldn't have made my other design just so pretty to give people that impression. That's on me for having such fantastic designs elsewhere in my runs. Like we've all seen my meme runs. They look gorgeous. I feel like we're producing too much steel on the belt, but I don't know how. I wonder if I just accidentally backed it up before I had logic. Okay, so I broke things, but I don't know how do I have so much steel? Enable, disable, read belt content. Okay. Yeah, we shouldn't have this much steel, right? Oh wait, I don't have the belt oversaturated, do I? Do I? Am I relying on the fact that this belt isn't split into fourths? No. No, this can split into fourths. Yeah. Okay, this should be able to split into fourths. Oh, these have different logic. Wait, hold on. This needs 1 ratio. This needs... That does twice as much. So I might have actually put steel on the wrong side. No, that's good. No, yeah, steel just needs to be on the trailing end. But yeah, this is a really, really dense steel belt. I wonder if it'll eventually clear itself. It's possible that I accidentally broke it like one time, because this side seems to be doing great. Okay, maybe not great. It seems to be existing. You know, it's definitely struggling. Oh, but then they do overproduce, so maybe it's okay. Yeah, this right side seems good. This left side is completely broken. I feel like I accidentally backed it up one time, and now it's literally impossible for it to clear itself. Because it was very backed up before I even connected the sushi. Let's see if it ever gets that backed up again. I'm not accidentally reading from like a weird belt, am I? No, it seems good. Okay, and then we also needed extra steel on this side anyway to feed the beacons, so that's good. Good. Yeah, I don't know how this isn't getting enough pipe. Oh, yeah, no, it still has super dense patches of steel. Could again be that we didn't clear it. I feel like this is the problem. I don't know why, but it feels like this section is broken. Because there obviously isn't steel here. Then there's a lot of steel here. Then there's more gears. No? Am I sideloading steel in the middle? Accidentally? No. I don't know. Sushi is weird in general, but I feel like it shouldn't be this broken. I mean, it does seem to be running better. It could just be as straightforward as I accidentally sideloaded something without logic for a while. So I caused it to like permanently brick. Like there is a good chance that is exactly what happened. Because it seems to be working a lot better now. Okay, I think we can say that's good enough. That seems reasonable to me. We can delete that, and then we can delete these two. Yeah, it looks like it just was backed up in steel because it seems to be running great now. At least if it get backed up, that is something I can fix manually or with bots by just rebuilding the whole design. But that's a good stopping point. We fixed a lot. We fixed a lot in our base. And then I now have an actual estimate for how long the run will take. Well, for how long the outposting phase will take based on how many outposts I have. Because if I have 10 minutes per outpost, it will take me about 3 hours to do all the outposts. And then 1 to 2 hours of just waiting for the actual run to finish. If we have performance overhead left, I will keep outposting, but that's hard to tell because the issue with burner inserters is we have like a 40-minute delay probably total between building and fueling for each outpost, which is not great. As you can imagine, that means I'm going to paste something and then like 30 minutes later, I'm going to get the performance hit from it, so it's going to be hard to estimate, or it's going to be hard to know when to stop. I think it will. I think it should work out because I think we can actually go about 5 to. We can probably go about 5 UPS below 60, so down to like 55. I think we can reasonably still keep getting more production. That seems very reasonable. I thought I had a spreadsheet. I did. But yeah, I'll need to. I'll definitely need to do a stress test. I think we can test that by just kind of pasting everything on the base and running our whole base at once. So I think when we do the staging practice, not staging practice, whenever we make the stages, we can paste all of our stages into a real world with biters and radars and stuff to get an actual estimate for how much we can support. I think 15 outposts we are well within range for. After that, I don't know. We'll see. It also depends how fast our initial base shuts down, since about half of it will shut down when science stops. So as long as I overestimated science, we're good. Otherwise, if science is researching until the very end of the run, that's like 2 outposts we probably can't get. But yeah, appreciate all the help. I'll be back tomorrow. We might be doing burner stuff again. I think I might have to just pause space exploration if I want to get burner stuff done anytime soon. But we'll see how I'm feeling. I've worked on this a lot this weekend, and I actually worked on it offline a bit. So I might, as long as I do some offline stuff, I think we'll be on track without skipping SpaceX. But we'll see. Either way, I'll be back tomorrow. Have a wonderful evening, and I'll see you all next time. Peace.